10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're live at Deptford High School. Minus right next to it, the same way.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You want to stop. Oh, turn around.
Christopher.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Tom Dwyer, CEO of Premier Orthopaedic Associates. As a parent of two former high school athletes, I can only imagine how difficult it is for so many of you who are unable to be at the game to watch your child or favorite student athlete compete due to COVID-19 restrictions this season. As such, our team here at Premier Orthopaedic Associates has partnered with our friends at BFA Sports to give you, the fans, a virtual front row seat. And for the student athlete, a new experience, a pretty cool professional broadcast they'll be able to keep forever at no cost for all of you to enjoy. Well, I see it's just about time for tip-off. So from all of us here at Premier Orthopaedic Associates, best of luck this season. Stay safe, be well, and while we hope we don't see any of you anytime soon, we're here for you if you should need us. Enjoy the game.
And we're live here at Deptford High School, BFA Sports coverage of high school playoff basketball. It's 2021, but there is a playoff.
Yeah,
it's not
I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
Not an NJSIA playoff necessarily, but it's the Tri-County Conference. This is a C bracket game, girls game here at Deptford between the Spartans of Deptford and the Schalick Cougars. Chris Losey, Coffee Jones here on courtside. It's interesting because there's not going to be a state playoff, but you know, I talked to the athletic director before, Irv McFarland, and he said it's just good to get into the playoffs. The C bracket's not going to be the state champion.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you know, Deptford's excited to host it, and we're happy to be here.
And obviously we're happy to be here, but just to see some of these student athletes and these girls be able to get to continue their high school and their scholastic career playing athletics. A lot of these girls are multi-sport athletes. We talk about soccer and softball. These girls play a lot of different sports. To be able to continue their career after a rough 2020, it's just excited to see them get back out on the court.
And Deptford's led by the Brianna Stocklin. They call her Breezy. And she's a D1 recruit for not basketball, though. She's going to Kutztown, Rescue 2. She's going to play softball.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of D1 athletes, and these girls are so athletic just to watch the shooting. I'm excited to see some shooters out here. You know, you're not going to see so many dunks or inside the paint hard fouls, but there's a lot of girl athletes that can shoot the ball out here, and I'm excited to see them get going with this tip-off in the playoffs.
Big score, too, for Schalick. I wanted to lead forward to get to the notes. It's Tia Furbash, too. She's their girl, and she wears number 23. So as we get ready to get this thing started, we got the starting five for Deptford, and they are Stocklin, Mahogany Collins, Reese Evans, Keisha Pierce, and Isiana Lewis. And the starting five for the Cougars of Schalick, and that's who's got the basketball right now, is Ava Trexler with Tia Furbash. She wears 23. That shot is underneath the basket, and it's going to turn over to Deptford.
Deptford starts out in the zone defensively, and they force the air ball and the turnover.
Along with Furbash and Trexler is Caden Santiago, number 1. Ava Alexander, number 11, is on the bench. She's their sixth man. Amaya Nobles, number 20, is the fifth starter for the Cougars of Schalick. No score early on. Here we go. First minute. And it starts with a whistle underneath, and that whistle is called by Arlene Cooper. The officials this afternoon are Arlene Cooper and Rob Kulik. You may remember the name Kulik because his brother's Ryan Kulik, big-time pitcher here in this area. Driving down the baseline was Angie Chomo, and she stepped out of bounds.
You see already 2 possessions for Deptford, 2 different defenses. They pack it in play zone. That time they go full court press, and they force 2 turnovers.
So they're going to do a little Keisha Pierce with a little deliberate. Now it's in the paint, and that was Isiana Lewis, and now we've got a whistle, and we have an injured Cougar. Hurt is Caden Santiago. You see her down in the paint. Premier Orthopaedic Associates presents high school basketball playoff action this afternoon from Deptford here on BFA as we look at there's Santiago now being, she's going to need some more medical attention than we thought. Do we have a replay on that by any chance? We do not. Okay, but let's go back to here. And there we are. Interesting. 50 seconds gone. We've got an injury already.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It looks like she's okay. She's kind of talking to her head coach, some of the training staff, but just defensively talking to some of the Deptford staff. They came into this game, they're 3-8 overall. They had a rough season. They got a lot of seniors on this Deptford team. This is one of their final home games today, and obviously Friday they'll get their final game of the season. But the coach said they're going to throw the kitchen sink. They're going to try everything. They're going to play zone. They're going to press. You've seen both already in 2 possessions. They forced a couple turnovers. So defensively, they're going to try to focus on doing whatever they can to try to get a win here today.
And Schalick, of course, getting there with a 4-8 record, but they didn't get the bye that Deptford got, so they had to get in by virtue of a win against Clayton. And now you say they're 3-8, but they were a top seed, but that's because this is the C bracket, and that's the way they did it. And I like the way they did that, too.
See full court trap right off the inbound pass by Deptford again.
Trexler, Furbash, and she'll get it across the timeline. Tries the 3. Blocked, though, by Pierce. Running back is Evans. Underneath, there goes Breezy. Had to kick it out, though.
Offensively, Deptford wants to get the ball inside to their bigs. They feel like they got an advantage, and they can find a way to get some open shooters.
Off the look from Pierce, that was Mahogany Collins, her first shot, no good. But an offensive rebound for the Spartans again. This is Pierce. Evans for 3. On the rim, no good. Rebound to Schalick. It was pulled down by Amaya Nobles. No score, 2 minutes gone here in Deptford. Playoff action, Tri-County playoff here on BFA, and that's a traveling call against Trexler.
3 possessions, 3 turnovers forced by this morphing Deptford Spartan defense. Really active in that half-court zone, and obviously they forced a couple traps in that full-court press that they've tried.
That's Breezy. Left-hander, no good. Offensive rebound in the first points of the game is Sienna Lewis.
Lewis on the glass. Talked about the advantage Deptford and their coach staff thought they had on the inside in their front court.
Furbash sporting the Iverson sleeve. Always a favorite. There's a baseline drive by Chomo, no good. Rebound to the Spartans again, and Breezy out and running.
To the corner, wide open.
Pierce for 3, missed everything. But a follow by Evans.
The 3rd offensive rebound.
Long 3 from Breezy, no good. Stockland missed that one, out of bounds. It will go to Schalick.
So far, Deptford's winning the offensive glass, 3 offensive rebounds so far. Only a 2-point lead early in this game, but defensively is where they've been shining so far.
Trexler, that was Stockland with the active hands, and they got the double dribble call.
4th turnover forced by the Deptford Spartan defense. These girls came to play here today, Chris.
Reese Evans. 3 minutes gone here. 2-0. Lewis, who has the only points of the night, missed it, but a back and a follow and a foul. For Mahogany Collins.
That's the 4th offensive rebound in this first quarter by Deptford. 3-point opportunity for the Spartans.
And right away, the Spartans go back to the full court after the made free throw. 5-0 early. Another turnover. In the corner, Stockland for 3. Missed it. Furbash wants to run for the Cougars, but no numbers. So she'll pull it up. Then almost lost it. Well, the Spartans are tenacious on defense, Coffee.
I see it. I see it. Look at that. Reaching for every inbound pass. No easy post passes.
That's Trexler, and there's a double team right away. And they're still going to let them fight for it. Good job by the officials there. And finally, the tie-up and the arrow goes to Deptford.
Mindset for the Spartans, leave it all on the court tonight, and so far they're doing it here in the first.
This is a semifinal matchup, Deptford in white, Schalick in green. In case you're wondering, now there's a tie-up and a double team, and a foul was called. Marlene Cooper with the call. Fouls on Furbash, that's her first. And if Schalick has any thoughts of being in this game, Tia Furbash cannot be on the bench in foul trouble.
I totally agree.
Stockland with a pull-up. Short with that. Follow-up, no good. Follow-up, no good. And out of bounds, it'll stay with Deptford. It's Isiana Lewis crashing the boards.
7, I count. Offensive rebounds, Chris, for the Deptford Spartans.
Not the same without the crowd, but.
Oh, great pass.
Indeed.
Kind of fell asleep.
Collins, she's got 4.
You line up in that box set, and they get the turnover right off the press.
And Stockland will go to the line. She was fouled by Chomo.
Great inbound pass. They run that box set, and Schalick kind of fell asleep on the inbound pass, and you leave the big wide open at the bucket.
So she was holding her nose. That's a timeout taken there by Schalick early on. It's 7-0. Back with more after this on BFA.
When it comes to taking care of your physical wellness, maintaining good health of your bones and muscles, you want a team of doctors you can trust and who hold themselves to the highest standards. At Premier Orthopaedic Associates, we believe that you should live life at your best. Our team of non-operative and operative orthopedic specialists strive for the highest standards, exceptional outcomes, and happiest patients. Come and experience the premier difference.
3:56 left first quarter, 7-0. Deptford in front. Chris Losey, Coffee Jones, our BFA Sports crew here this afternoon for the first of two in a Tri-County playoff bracket for the girls. This is the C bracket. Will be followed by the boys bracket, which is the A bracket. And that winner, the A bracket, is basically the de facto regional champion. Back to action with Stockland from the free throw line. It's their first points of the night. One out of two for the one they call Breezy. And it's 8-zip early on. Furbash looking at the hoop, now tries it. Got it.
Okay. Okay, you can't wear number 23 and not be a baller because you got the Iverson sleeve, you got number 23 on, you got to be able to put up some buckets. That was a nice one to get 3 points on the board for Schalick.
The Kurt Rambis glasses, though, they don't match, right?
Got to be able to see, though. I don't knock it. I played blind most of my career.
Pass out of bounds. They'll go back over to the Cougars.
See here, she gets the step back 3-point. I can see her working on that in the offseason. Back in that press by Deptford. And they force another turnover.
Amazing. Pierce didn't get called for a foul there, and she's able to follow. Chomo pulls up, missed it. Rebound on the floor, out of bounds. We want to mention Maya Nobles was guilty of the last foul.
I think Chomo could have took another dribble that got to the corner to free herself up. She rushed that three-pointer on the wing just a little bit. Again, that pressure defense is speeding the Schalick team up.
Coming up on 3 minutes. Pass deflected. Active hands that time. Lauren Bolivar into the game, number 13 for the Cougars. Stockland in trouble, and they turn it over. Chomo, but she went too far wide and had a bad angle. And we go back the other way. Reese then, she had it on the floor, and she was fouled, and that was a ticky-tack foul there. I think. That's team foul number 4, and the second on Furbash, and that's not good news right away for the Cougars. And I'll send Nobles to the bench, actually. Caden Santiago back into the game. She was injured early on. Good to see her back on the floor, Coffee. That's Keisha Pierce driving and threw it away, and Furbash in the open floor. No numbers. She'll pull up.
And
got
bucket.
it, and the foul. Rob Kulik called that from under the basket. I like that.
Here in the replay, she sees the defender getting back, getting ready to take a charge in front of her, and Furbash just pulls up. Reese Evans is the last line defender to make her stop, but she ends up hitting the jumper and getting the and one. She's got all 6 points for Schalick so far in this first quarter.
And the lead is 4 for the Spartans, under 2 minutes to go. That's Reese Evans. Pierce in the corner for 3, missed that. Evans with a floorboard. Stockland from the far side, missed that. Rebound up in the air, fought for, and a jump ball will go to the Cougars.
See Reese Evans with another offensive rebound. That's the 8th in the first period for this Deptford Spartan team.
Coming down to 2 minutes left in the first. And the Spartans.
They're going boxing one here. I like that. You got one defender out high, guarding Furbash, and she's putting up 6 points and gets to the foul line again.
She will. I'll tell you what, boxing one early on, that's interesting.
That's respect.
Liz Faulkner, head coach here. That's good stuff.
That is respect automatically. Take your senior and Keisha Pierce, you put her on the best score on the other team. Play a four-woman zone behind it.
Furbash averages 21 a game. And right now she's got all of them on the right side of the scoreboard. If you're here live, if you're on television, it's on the left-hand side of the scoreboard. You familiar with that score, 10-7? You ever seen that before in your life? Furbash with them both. And, you know, you're watching this game, and it's like Schalick is only down by 2.
Yeah, because you got number 23 with the goggles on your side. She's trying to carry this team, this 4-8 team, in a playoff game.
Keisha Pierce, minute 40 left. Traffic underneath. That was Evans. Nice feed. And there's Mahogany Collins again. She's got 6.
Great job by Reese Evans. She didn't force the 3. Repost it right back down to your big girl. Gets an inside bucket.
Down to a minute 15 to go. Chomo. There's Furbash. And there it is, Coffee.
Box and 1, yeah. Keisha Pierce is following her wherever she goes on the court.
You know, and I saw Pierce, too. She was gasping during one of the free throws by Furbash. Chomo off the glass, no good. Rebound to Collins. Reese Evans are going to run. Under a minute to go. Good ball movement. Evans, no good. Rebound, no good. Tapped up. Evans is going to track it down. Alicia Bowman into the game now for Deptford as Evans hits the 3. With 35 seconds left. Furbash.
Good skip pass.
But it was an air ball, though, from Bolivar out of bounds to the Cougars with 26 seconds left. Way too much time. An open look by Chomo, no good. And the last possession for the Spartans with 20 seconds left. It's Reese Evans. 15. Pierce in the corner. A kick out. Now Pierce is open with 8 seconds. The roll, no good. Rebound to the Cougars. 4 seconds. That was Santiago. Furbash has got to hurry. And a little body language from Coffee Jones, and it's still no good. That's the end of the first quarter here in Deptford with the score. The Spartans 15 and the Cougars of Schalick 8 in this playoff matchup here in the C bracket of the Tri-County Conference. Brought to you by Premier Orthopaedic.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trina Listo, a provider here at Premier Orthopaedic Associates. As a mom, a coach, and a physician, I take concussions very seriously. If you have concerns that your student athlete may have sustained a concussion, it is always better to rest the player from play and monitor their symptoms and be evaluated. Remember, you don't have to have a direct injury to the head to sustain a concussion. Even a hard blow to the body can cause the brain to rattle inside the skull and create this injury. Having been trained, not just in concussions, but in higher level traumatic brain injury, allows us to help you take the guesswork out of this confusing injury. Remember, concussions are an invisible injury and can have prolonged symptoms, especially if not cared for correctly.
Kind of what we expected as we start the second quarter here in this playoff matchup. Deptford and Schalick. Chris Losey, Coffee Jones, BFA Sports here for playoff basketball this afternoon. 15-8 is the score, but the 8 is all one. It's Tia Furbash.
Tia Furbash has been awesome for her team, and she's carried the load offensively to so much degree. This Deptford team has decided to go boxing 1 on her in the first quarter. That is a lot of respect you give for one player offensively.
The same 10 are on the floor for each side. Reese Evans, she's got 3. Out top, Keisha Pierce. Keep your eye on Pierce, by the way. And I'll tell you why in a second. There's a miss, and actually there was a substitution. Amaris Bussey, 11 into the game for the Spartans off the screen. Bussey will try another one. Missed it with an air ball. Rebound, no good. From Lewis, running back is Furbash, taking everybody on. She's got 10, leads everybody.
You see the slow motion at the very last second. Avoid the charge, get under control, and get the lay in.
Spartans by 5. What I wanted to say was watch Keisha Pierce because she's responsible for Furbash's on the rim and got it.
Well, she took a hit on that shot.
Is Alicia Bowman, her first 2 of the night.
You said it in the open, Chris. Deptford felt like they had the advantage on the inside, and so far, they're bigs. These females are playing a lot tougher than the Schalick side is. They've got one player, number 23, who's been carrying the load.
Way out for Furbash, no good. And a rebound to Lewis. And Bussey finds Evans in the corner. They want to get Pierce again. Nice kick out. More good ball movement. Bowman has two more.
Got to cut off the baseline. That 2-3 zone, you get beat baseline, give up another assist for this Deptford Spartan team.
Chomo lost it in the paint. It's still loose. They scramble. Lewis has it, and a foul is called. And that's the 15th foul on the Cougars.
Yeah, you see she got locked in right on her arm right there in the scramble.
That would be Volovar. No, they didn't give it to Volovar. The board has, nope, now they changed it. It is Volovar. Okay, that's her first and team 5 for the Cougars. Spartans have the ball. They're up 9. 2 minutes gone, second quarter here today from Deptford. Pierce again. Chomo on her. They get it down low. Bowman is double teamed. And Pierce with a cross court.
Good patience, swing the ball. Playing his own team, you want to get the ball on both sides of the court. Don't get one-dimensional.
That shot from Bowman, no good. Lewis with a putback.
Great hustle by Lewis. You just see these girls in white shirts just moving a lot faster.
The lead is in double digits. 11 points. Furbash to change that. No good. Floorboard, though, to the Cougars. Chomo will try a 3. Short. And Bussey has a rebound for the Spartans. Off the glass, no good. And Chomo is back for Schalick. Furbash, no. Quadruple team, still got a shot away, no good. Rebound follow, no good. That was from Nobles. And Deptford back the other way. Pierce for 3. Back rim, not there.
Love how Reese Evans is attacking this 2-3 zone right in the gap, forcing that wing defender to step up. You either get an open look at the wing or open look in the corner.
.440 left, second quarter, still an 11-point lead.
Still boxing one defense.
That's going to tire, that's what I was trying to get at. That's going to tire Keisha Pierce out, don't you think?
It has to, but she's that type of defender. She's your Kawhi Leonard or your stopper. You got to be able to trust her to have the stamina to keep up with a scorer like Furbash.
So this isn't patience by design. This is patience that's forced, right?
Yes.
Screen there, but there's another double team. Chomar, head fake, top of the glass, no good. Rebound Bussey, and she traveled.
Oh.
Well, if you're not going to call the foul,
yeah,
you're going to call the travel. By the way, the other semifinal features Timber Creek against Wildwood. That game is at Wildwood this evening. If Deptford wins this game, the top seed, they will host the championship of this C bracket tournament here
on Friday. Yes, sir.
Nobles with the screen and a travel call.
You come off that screen, a pick and roll type of action. If you're the guard with the ball handler, you cannot pick up your dribble prematurely. You got to wait for your role person to make their moves. She picked up the ball too early, had nowhere to pass it, took an extra step.
Scoreboard hasn't changed for a while. Stockland tried to change that and missed the 3. Rebound to Nobles.
Patience by Reese Evans right there, going at her own pace, get a wide open look in the corner against that 2-3 zone from Schalick.
Whoops. Might have been a walk. Step back. No good from Furbash. Nobles tracked it down, and a whistle and a jump ball. And it's going to stay with Schalick. And they could have called a foul there, too.
Yeah, I agree.
Watch this.
little bit of hand, a little bit of, might have taken her bracelet off.
Chomo for 3. Short. Santiago fights. Did not get the board, though. It was hauled down by Mahogany Collins. 3 minutes left on the clock. Still an 11-point lead for Deptford. That's Stockland in the corner. And Reese Evans out top and a reset. Stockland got it. In rhythm, as they say.
Another beautiful assist and set up by Reese Evans. She's one of those multi-sport athletes heading to Bucknell to play soccer, but she's got some ability as a point guard.
It's a 2-touchdown lead, something that we're pretty familiar with. 2:35 on the clock. 24-10, Deptford is in front. Trexler's 3 is off the mark. Back we go to Deptford's possession. 2:25 on the clock.
Watch Evans. She's going to go in. She's going to attack the gaps in the zone. High ball screen.
The hands by Furbash.
Oh, nice.
Look at the hands by Furbash.
There we go. I feel like you're going to see all 32 minutes from Furbash tonight.
Timeout. Deptford. 12-point lead. And now we've got something from Marlene Cooper going over to the Deptford bench.
Job by Isiana Lewis not getting the foul in the end, one opportunity, but a great on-ball defensive play. She's doing everything she can for this Schalick team.
I think what Arlene Cooper did in that situation was you don't call a timeout to come after us. And I think she made that very clear. Good job by the officials. 2:11 to go here in the second. 12-point lead. It's Deptford 24 and Tia Furbash 12.
There's nothing more you can say about that.
That's the score.
You see she's getting rebounds.
That is it, right.
She gets the steal, gets the breakaway. She's got to do it all by herself. She's got to be the LeBron James of her team today to get this victory. She's got to make it happen.
As a great steal down on this end, though. I mean, it
from
was
a good point guard as well.
To be clean, too, and take it all the way. And, might want to change the graphics in our graphics department and change from Schalick to Furbash on the board. But, again, a box and one, it's got to be tiring. What do you do if you're on the Schalick side now? How do you want to exacerbate that and get them even more tired? Do you run Furbash all the way around?
You got to move her around. You got to set a screen for her. So if you set an on-ball screen, somebody's got to come up to help. Now you can play 4-on-3 against the other 3 Deptford defenders. There's going to be advantages when you're playing against zone defenses. You see right here, you're going to see Deptford come off that screen, get the ball right to the rim.
Pierce couldn't get it, out of bounds to the Cougars.
So even in that zone, you go baseline. They've been giving up the baseline all night in that zone. Deptford back in that full court press.
That's Trexler, Nobles. Trexler's open, but she'll give it up to Furbash, who's not open, and misses the 3 badly.
She rushed that look a little bit, but they get an open look by beating the press, getting the ball inside, kicking it back out. It's a 3 I know she can knock down.
Evans off the mark with that 3. Rebound, though, to the Spartans, and they throw it away. We've got a foul called, and let's see where we're going to go. It's going to stay with Deptford. No, it's a foul on Deptford. It's a foul on Keisha Pierce. Her first. The third team foul for the Spartans with a minute 20 to go.
You missed her. You missed her.
Nobles blocked. Pierce comes back and gets it.
Angie Chomo's got to get her head up. She had a wide open Nobles under the basket. Took her too long. Great hustle by Keisha Pierce getting down to get that block.
Down to a minute. In the corner, there's Breezy. Spilled out. Nobles has a rebound. And they get it to Furbash with 50 seconds to go.
Reese Evans has gotten at least 10 good looks for her teammates. She only has about 3 assists in this game, but she's doing her job as the point guard of this Deptford Spartan team.
That's Trexler out top with 35 seconds left. Chomo, pull up. Bad shot. Santiago's got a floorboard. 30 seconds. Furbash going to go to the basket.
Good patience.
And a foul.
Great patience. You see the change of speed. She runs to her spot on the wing like she's going to spot up and pull that three. See her two defenders run at her. She navigates right through the lane, takes an extra dribble, sight Euro step, gets the and one.
No surprise that she's taking control of the game, but, I mean, this is getting out of hand. She's got them all. 15 for the Cougars, 15 for Furbash, and it's a 9-point game.
Very little doubt who the best player on the floor is so far in this first half, but the better team has been the Deptford Spartans.
Chomo on the bench for the Cougars in the last 20 seconds to go. Stocklin. Pierce. They kick it. That's Reese Evans. Stocklin's free in the corner with 8 seconds left. Missed it. But a good rebound by Mahogany Collins. Stocklin again missed that. And at the quarter, it's over. Halftime here in Deptford with the score, the Spartans 24 and the Schalick Cougars 15 here on BFA. Back with more and a halftime guest after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trina Lisko, a provider here at Premier Orthopaedic Associates. I love that we get to watch these athletes play again. There is nothing better than being able to participate in an activity that you love. However, I know that COVID has us all a little less active than we would like, especially if weather conditions don't allow us to get outside and we've been restricted from the gym. Now is the time to consider some cross-training. Consider body-weighted activities, which are my favorite. Do timed interval repetitions with a little rest in between to help keep your heart rate up and activate your cardiovascular system. We can all stay healthy and active during this time. Remember to start slow and work technique before progressing to higher repetitions. Slow and steady will do the job.
We're at halftime here, BFA Sports coverage of high school basketball playoff matchup here between Deptford and Schalick. It's 24-15. Deptford is in front, and we're joined at halftime by Deptford Athletic Director Irv McFarland. Great to see you again, my friend.
Thanks a lot, guys, for coming out. Really appreciate you guys coming here.
Yeah, and it's really great to see any type of a postseason because the NJSIA said no to a postseason. So how did this come about?
So within the Tri-County Conference, obviously, we had the flexibility and the ability to have our own conference tournament. So some of the ADs, Mike McAleer is our conference president, and some of the other ADs got together and decided, let's make this happen within the conference. And we have 21 teams, so we're able to make 3 brackets of 7 teams and kind of, seed the teams and go from there. So the whole intent and the whole point of it was to obviously give the kids an opportunity to play and compete at the end of the season for something and make it a little meaningful. So we're glad we could do that.
3-8 and a top seed, and you would say, well, what's that all about? But Now that you mentioned that, and now that you've explained that, and we've seen in the Spartans, it's definitely a justifiable seeding.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our girls have been tough battling all year. We love watching them play. Obviously, a lot of teams have been affected by numbers. Our team's the same. We had a few student athletes that didn't come out and play this year because of the pandemic and everything going on. But for the girls that wanted the opportunity, they're here. They deserve to be able to compete and play in a tournament like this, and we're glad that they get to do that.
I just wanted to talk about just what are some of the challenges you guys have had to overcome as a program, just seeing going through schedule changes, cancellations and things of that nature.
Yeah, it's been a challenge, no doubt. It's hard to plan. I feel in our positions as ADs, a lot of our job is planning and setting up for the future and what we can do for our student athletes and our kids. And we kind of had to put a hold on that this year. And now we're, 2 weeks out making final plans for something that might happen or might not because of shutdowns and stuff like that. So it's been challenging, but what always makes it worth it is when you come out here and you watch the kids compete, you watch how much it means to them. You see their parents here, and their parents are so excited to get in and get a chance to watch them play. And, that's why we do it. So the challenges, even though they are difficult and, a little bit challenging to overcome at times, it's totally worth it to give the kids that opportunity.
I think it makes us play even a larger role that we're broadcasting these games because the parents aren't here. So did you spread the word at all that this game is going to be available live on television?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. With companies like you guys and being able to come out and not only give the parents but the grandparents that can't travel. And right now our Board of Education made the decision that our spectators are limited to just home spectators, 2 per player, based off of Governor Murphy's restrictions. And we're lucky that our parents can come in, but obviously there's brothers, there's sisters, there's aunts, uncles, grandparents, and with a platform like you guys, it's awesome that they can actually watch the game and see the people that they want to cheer for play, without being in the gym. It's great.
I'm going to ask him about baseball.
Go ahead, Greg.
I would be remiss if I did not ask him about baseball. But I think that's the last time I saw you. It was the Apsa-Gami playoff game that we had. It was a great game. I believe it was a walk-off.
Yes, yep.
Gami was up by a few runs.
And we came all the way back, yep.
And it was a walk-off. I was not on the plate, by the way, so you can't blame me for that one. Baseball, from what you understand, is going to be normal. It's just going to be a little bit late, right?
Yeah, the start date is the official start date for all the players within baseball is going to be April 1st. Pitchers and catchers can come the week before to get their arms healthy and to get ready. But the plan from the NJSIA is spring because they lost their year last year totally, to give them as normal of a season as possible. And we're going to try to max out our games to give our kids opportunities to play and do the best we can to try to make up for that year that we lost last year.
So it's going to be till the middle of June from what I understand, right? But
yeah.
It's a complete full season with the state playoff, right?
Yep, as of right now, they're shooting for state playoffs, and the state playoffs will start the first week in June. Teams that continue to move on in advance will probably play until about mid-June is when the state finals and stuff like that would happen. And the NJSI did a good job, in my opinion, with giving the flexibilities. If you lose in the first or second round, you can continue to play all the way up until – I think June 20th is the day. So even if we were to lose in the first, second round and don't make a deep run, obviously we hope to, but if we don't, then we can still give our kids the opportunity to play some more games.
Take it one step backwards. What if you are making that deep run and you have a scheduled game? Are you still going to play that game, or is that going to get changed?
That's a great question. That would be something I would totally rely on my coaches and their opinion. If we had the arms and our coaches wanted to get some more at-bats for our kids.
You can mention the coaches. That's okay.
Yeah. We have. So our baseball coach is Tony Leone. He's been here for a really long time. Great guy. Our softball coach is Mindy Cox. Same thing. She's been here for years. Both have great programs. Both do a really good job with training the kids, teaching them, and just doing a good job molding the young men and women at Deptford. So so I would go to them and just say, hey, listen, we have a regular season game. If you want to put all your chips into the playoffs and moving forward, we'll look to shut that down. But if they want to get some at bats or maybe some innings to a pitcher that might not pitch in a playoff game, then we would go ahead and try to play it if we could. So
that's nice to hear, Sue. And now here's Coffee Jones with the new designated hitter rule in high school baseball. What do you think? it is really it's a mess, but we're gonna have to we'll go through that. What do you think of that, by the way, real quick? Just 1 second. Go ahead.
As far as having a DH,
do you know about there's 3 different DHs now that you can put in there?
I don't know, actually.
Yeah, see, we'll have to have that conversation off the camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot.
AD at Deptford, and with all things that they are, we'll be here on Friday, too, for the finals of this tournament. Great job, and thanks for having us here.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it.
No problem.
At halftime here on BFA's coverage of high school basketball, back with more. And the second half right after this.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. Great, Coach.
different kinds of designated hitters. There's the standard designated hitter, right? The standard designated hitter is bad for anybody. As soon as that player comes into play in the field, you terminate the DH, right? Standard. Right. Standard. Yeah. The pitcher DH rule is the college rule, which means Coffey's pitching, okay, and you start to lose gas in the 5th inning, but you're my best hitter. So I come in, I put Irv. Irv pitches, you still DH. That's the new thing there. The third one is for a defensive player. It's like a special player now, like they did from softball, right? Whereas if that person goes to the offense, the DH is done. So in other words, if I'm hitting for the second baseman and the second baseman goes into the batting order, the DH is done. It's really weird. The third one's really weird. That's crazy. Yeah. You know what? Matter of fact, I will tell you what. It's crazy. That is. You're exactly right. It's crazy. Hang on. Where's that? Nice chatting. Scroll up, and then you'll see them come down. There you go. How much time we got? We good? Nice job, gang. Great interview with Irv McFarland, huh? Athletic director here.
That was awesome.
That's a good guy.
Some good insight. Some of the administrators and just some of the great people at the high school level allowing us to put these games on and let these student athletes do what they love to do.
Start of the second half, it's a 9-point lead for Deptford. Schalick has possession, and we start right away with Furbash, and you think it's a boxing one still?
Actually, they're back in their regular zone, and looks like, well, see the zone look like it's just moving 2-3. Furbash hasn't moved too far out.
Matchup zone.
Like they're matching up a little bit.
Yep. Trexler out top. Look at Dobles come out and say, here comes the screen. That's good basketball right there. And it allows Chomo, but you could see Chomo with her reaction. It's not a good pass. Turnover for Deptford.
9th turnover of the game. They had 8 in the first half, forced by this Deptford defense.
Keisha Pierce, I'm sure that she appreciated that breather at halftime. She's responsible for following Furbash all around. Tries to go in, thought there was a foul call. There was none. Santiago comes away with it. Tia Furbash's first touch of the second half. Again, by 9, 15 points for Schalick. She's got all of them. Baseline drive from Chomo goes through.
Good
Trexler
rotation.
with a head fake.
Great job by Reese Evans. She rotated all the way from the backside to get to that corner shooter. And the 10th turnover of the game for Schalick. They've been very sloppy with the ball here today, Chris.
And that's something you can't be against, let alone the top seed here in this bracket, but the home team. Evans with a fake. There's no question, I think the Spartans have slowed this down a little bit. Put it into neutral. And just as I say that, Evans fires a 3, no good. Pierce with a follow. Ran right around Nobles.
14 offensive rebounds for the Deptford Spartan team in the first half. That's their 15th of the game. Those will kill you anytime if you're playing, especially in playoff basketball, and another turnover.
11-point lead.
Good patience there. 3 things that'll kill you at any level of basketball, Chris. Turnovers, giving up offensive rebounds, and missed free throws. Obviously, Schalick hasn't been able to get to the line too much, but the second chance opportunities and another one there.
And there's a jump ball and a tie-up, but they're trying to get Stockland free on the three-pointers, and she's not having much success there in the corner. Her only 3 was from the arc.
16 offensive rebounds. That's extra possessions for a team that's already limited offensively. When you got a star like Furbash, can't give up extra possessions.
And now Stockland hits from the corner. She's got 9. Largest lead for Deptford, 14. Chomo for 3. The bank is closed. I always wanted to say that. And when a walk call, and that's because Reese Evans.
We know a guy who works at a bank. We'll work it out.
And Mahogany Collins both had the rebound and shuffled the feet. We know a guy. Look at the hands by Stockland, and yet another turnover. 3 minutes gone, second quarter.
That's Reese Evans just attacking that gap. Wide open shooter on the other side of that 2-3 zone.
Why Stockland is always open is beyond me, but another loose one. Up went Lewis. Up went Pierce.
And one change that I've seen, 5th turnover of the half. Furbash is frustrated. She was at the top of the zone to start the game off in the entire first half. Now she's playing on the back line of that zone for the Schalick team to be able to help on the glass, stop some of these offensive rebounds.
Evans all the way, missed it. Rebound to the Cougars. It's Santiago, but there's the double team again, and it's a foul call. So the tenacity of that full court finally cost Deptford with a foul. It was on Mahogany Collins. It's her second. Chomo got away with the bump. Santiago. And here's Furbash to the hole. No good. Follow up. No good by Alexander. And another board for Lewis. Pierce will try a 3. Too strong.
Look at it.
Furbash has the rebound, and she's looking to run.
Push it by herself.
All the way. Missed it. Gets a board. Missed it again. They got to go down.
Yeah, she's doing everything she can.
Even being tenacious on Reese Evans. Frees up Pierce to the middle.
Ooh,
Scoop.
almost.
No good on the runner. Chomo has the board. We haven't had a whistle in a while, partner.
Let them play.
Chomo then ran out of gas and ran out of real estate. Another turnover.
6 here in the third quarter. They had 7 in the first quarter, only 1 in the second, but you see this lead blow up to 16 points.
And a timeout taken by the Cougars. It's a 16-point lead, 31-15. Premier Orthopaedic Associates is a proud sponsor of high school athletics here on BFA Sports and high school basketball. Chris Losey, Coffee Jones, here we are, the BFA Sports crew here live at Deptford High School. And we heard from Athletic Director Irv McFarland about a Friday matchup and looking at the board and looking at what's ahead.
It may be a home game.
It might be a home game for the final of this C bracket tournament, which would be Friday night, right?
Be exciting just to see these teams and watch the way Deptford's been playing. Their coaching staff and Coach Faulkner says she's going to throw it all out there. They're going to use everything that they can. They've played zone. They've played full court trap. They've played box and one. They've done a lot of different things defensively to be able to get this team from Schalick a little bit out of their sorts. And offensively, they just be getting second shots. Reese Evans is picking her way through the zone, getting open shots, and 16 offensive rebounds so far through this game has been what the difference is.
And because you have a focal point in Tia Furbash, her gas tank is empty right now.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
She's doing everything she can. She scored all 15 points in the first half of this team, and so far in the third quarter, they've yet to put up a bucket. She had a couple opportunities right at the rim, but again, they've got to find a way to get rebounds and get shots up. You can't keep turning the ball over. They've got 11, 12, 13 turnovers in this game.
You know, in our next visit here with the GoPro cam, we'll talk about the boys matchup, which is a good one next. And Deptford also a top seed in the boys bracket, and that's in the A bracket. Reese Evans with the miss on the 3. And Chomo brings it back. It's a 16-point lead for the Spartans. as we tick down to 3 minutes left here in the third.
The spacing offensively has just been a little bit of an issue. That time they get in the gap, get an offensive rebound.
And Santiago will go to the line. And a chance for another Cougar to get on the board, other than the name of Furbash.
Good job just getting the ball to the corner against that. It's basically a box in one zone, but you only got 2 defenders on the baseline.
The other semifinal is Triton and Pittman. That game going on now as we speak. And from what it looks like, that winner will come here to meet the Spartans if the score holds. So we have a point for a Cougar not named Furbash. Cadence Santiago with 1 free throw, and it's 31-16, 2:45 left.
How fast the ball has moved. It's touched 4 different players just on that one possession from the Spartans.
Bowman's shot deflected out of bounds, and it will stay with the Spartans. You know, I forgot to ask Irv what time those games would be on Friday. I assume they would be the same as Stockland. Can't finish that, but out of bounds again.
Got to be a little more physical on the inside. They're letting these offensive rebounders kind of play. I thought that may have been an over-the-back opportunity. Furbash trying to box out on Mahogany Collins.
Another lost possession for the Cougars after the miss.
Just a little stack formation on this inbound play.
Stockland with a fake. Takes it into Bowman off the double team. No good. Gets her miss. No good. Furbash. And she's got nowhere to run, Coffee, even in the backcourt.
She's got a little bit of a handle to her. She can hold the ball.
Trexler finds Santiago. Chomo, and then back out to Trexler with 2:10 to go.
Good job by Reese extending that. Looks like a box zone, but they can move out, kind of morph into a diamond type of a zone with Reese Evans moving all the way out towards the half court, putting ball pressure on.
Furbash gets a screen, fires a 3, and got it. 18 for Furbash. You see Keisha Pierce with the reaction like she couldn't believe that went in, and she looked right at her family members. Do you see that over there?
She fought through the screen. Cadence Santiago set the screen on her up high.
Evans short, floorboard Trexler. Where's 23?
Yeah, got to get her the ball. She's a hot hand.
Chomo will try it. No good. Rebound on the floor. Pierce has it. Whistle and a technical foul on the Deptford bench. And Arlene Cooper has teed up Liz Faulkner, the head coach.
Wonder who's going to shoot this one.
See, now usually when they're the big TV games, one of the officials comes over and tells us why. So we have to talk to Irv about that one, you know. One more for Furbash on the technical, and then Schalick will have possession with 1:23 left. She's got 19. Unsportsmanlike conduct was the official technical foul ruling. Liz Faulkner. Lead down to 11. 1:20 to go. Someone's going to have to explain to me why you would want to get a T when you're up by that many, but we'll hold off on that conversation, right?
You know, these coaches, they live possession by possession. They're not necessarily looking at the final score till the horn goes off. And obviously something that she didn't like, call that may have been missed in her opinion. Double dribble that was missed, I believe.
Twice they were missed. Furbash misses the 3. Santiago's got a rebound. Trexler. Stockland shut the door there. Nice job. And the ball will stay with Schalick with 41 seconds left.
Reese Evans over there moving her feet. We talked about her having an opportunity. She's going to play soccer at Bucknell. Good footwork to get the ball trapped in the corner, but sometimes you just can't stop good offense.
21 for Furbash. The lead is inside of 10 with 30 seconds to go. Stockland for three. Short.
Out.
Furbash with the box and the follow and a travel.
Oh, it could have been a block if she puts the ball down first. Another turnover, 7th of the quarter. Nice little spurt there, six points in a row by Furbash. Three-pointer, a bucket, and a technical foul free throw.
Underneath, that is Collins, and she's whistled for a travel. 20 seconds left.
They find a way to get the ball and close this third quarter out.
Be nice if somebody else scored, but Chomo can't finish that. 10 seconds on the clock, and here come the Spartans. One possession. Evans, Bowman underneath. No good. Gets her miss. No good. Foul call. She'll go to the line.
19 offensive rebounds. I felt like Cuomo went a little fast in that last possession. Hoisting that three up. They could have got the final shot of the quarter. This time they're going to give up 2 free throws.
Alicia Bowman gets one more. 4.7 seconds left on the clock in the third. Now this is the, I'll wait till the end of the quarter. 1 out of 2 for Bowman. Here comes Furbash with 2 seconds. No, and wanted a foul call, didn't get it. That's the end of 3 here in Deptford in this playoff matchup with the score. Deptford 32, Schalick 22. The fourth quarter is next on BFA Sports. What I was going to say.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trina Lisko, a provider here at Premier Orthopaedic Associates. I love that we get to watch these athletes play again. There is nothing better than being able to participate in an activity that you love. However, I know that COVID has us all a little less active than we would like, especially if weather conditions don't allow us to get outside and we've been restricted from the gym. Now is the time to consider some cross-training. Consider body-weighted activities, which are my favorite. Do timed interval repetitions with a little rest in between to help keep your heart rate up and activate your cardiovascular system. We can all stay healthy and active during this time. Remember to start slow and work technique before progressing to higher repetitions. Slow and steady will do the job.
Fourth quarter coming up. 32-22, 10-point game. Deptford in front of Schalick. It's been a playoff game that we thought it was going to be. When you talk to both of those teams, what they have been saying is going to happen has been happening pretty much for the most part. It's the tenacity of the Deptford defense and Tia Furbash on the Schalick side.
See, I've just seen her running the baseline. They're still in that box and one. Pierce is glued to her. She's not leaving her side, no matter what side of the court she gets on.
Can Furbash carry this team by herself? Chomo misses another 3. Rebound out of bounds, and they're going to say it's off of Mahogany Collins, so Schalick will keep it.
Another second chance opportunity here. You get a wide open 3 in the corner.
Chomo missed everything, and that's Reese Evans. I know you like her.
I do. I wish you could see Reese Evans playing with somebody like Furbash at the next level, because she's been the ultimate distributor, getting people in the right position, getting wide open looks. See, she's patient right there, going at her own speed.
Stockland with the runner.
See right there, just Reese Evans, not patient, not just panicking, taking your time.
It's a 12-point game.
That defending all the way out in the court. Pierce.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I don't know about that one, but.
She's been doing that all game.
You can let it go sometimes.
Yeah. If you're doing that all game, I mean, there's no point to call it now. I mean, you don't need to do that.
It's like pickup basketball when I'm down at the gym playing. You don't call it till they get game point.
Yeah, exactly. Collins, no good. Rebound out of bounds. Stays with Deptford. A minute and a half gone here in the fourth. And a 12-point lead for the Spartans. It's 34-22. Off the inbound. Lewis misses with a Keisha Pierce inbound. Furbash. And look who's on her the whole way.
Lady Kawhi, I may call her. She's been the Kobe stopper so far.
Chomo missed another one. Rebound out. Santiago missed that. Chomo gets a board. And the Cougars on a little bit of a run on the board, but nothing in the cash register, so to speak. And there's Trexler, and she's tripped on their way to the basket.
She got bailed out there. Brianna Stockland, she kind of got a little bit of a tripping call, not moving her feet just fast enough.
They called it on Isiana Lewis, actually, though. Rebound, and that's getting a little physical, don't you think, down there? Ava Alexander. So I'll tell you what, she looks like she can, clear a spot for, a halfback. What do you think?
We got some athletes out here, some two-sport athletes. Talk about softball, soccer. I know we question the stamina of a defender like Pearson. She's been able to make some plays, close to double-figure scoring herself, and been the on-ball defender in this box and one against a player like Furbash.
5.5 left here in the fourth. 12-point game. This is Pierce. Good look underneath Lewis. And her effort will put her to the free throw line.
You see Pierce just attack right in the middle of that zone and drop a nice soft pass to get her teammate a shot at the rim.
Fouls on Furbash, her third. And you hate to say it, but if 23 is in foul trouble, that really changes the whole game. There's an understatement. One more to go.
And it's tough as a team because you had her at the top of the zone to start the game off, trying to get some ball pressure. She gets the one breakaway steal against Reese Evans for the lay-in, but you're getting killed on the offensive glass, so you put your best player on the back line of your defense, and now she's picking up a couple fouls. 6
points for Lewis. Lead back up to 14 for the Spartans as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the fourth. Chomo coast to coast. Can't get it to go. And a tie-up, and the arrow goes to Deptford. I'll tell you, Chomo's got an awful lot of misses tonight.
Yeah, she's getting that athletic ability to speed up the court to that right hand. But she's got to learn to be able to slow down, come under control when you get to the rim.
Under 5 to go.
Patience of Evans right between the two gaps right there. And now you got the defense compromised, and they got to run out on the shooter.
And a whistle is going to go against Lewis and the Spartans. Rob Kulik with that call. And that's the 13th foul for the Spartans. Second foul for Lewis. Furbash gets right through Evans.
Pass.
Santiago on the far side pulls it up. 3 for Chomo. No good. And a rebound to Collins. Bounce underneath Lewis, and you can see that the Cougars are exhausted.
Yeah, both of these teams, they've had to fight. I know all 32 minutes I haven't seen Tia Furbash come out of the game. For Schalick.
Trexler's 3, no good. And I think that might be the story of the game, other than, of course, Furbash.
Nobody's been able to get a bucket.
That's
got one free throw from Santiago.
And a full timeout there taken by the Spartans with exactly 4 minutes left here in the final period. Chris Losey, Coffee Jones, and our BFA Sports crew here. First of two, we've got a boys matchup in the A bracket featuring Overbrook and the Deptford Spartans. And Deptford being the host in both brackets, if they pull off a win, we're back here for Deuce on Friday. As it stands now, it's 36-22. And we have Furbash for 21 of the 22 points for the Cougars, and that's probably not balanced scoring by any stretch.
Just loving what I've seen from Liz Faulkner and her team. She talked about it to me, before the game. They're going to leave it all out here on the court, Chris. They're going to play with everything they got. They know their fate. They got 2 games left today and Friday. Hopefully they'll be playing. I've seen some of the championship plaques over there on the scores table for Friday that will be handed out. They knew they had to get their job done today, and they're 4 minutes away from getting to that final bracket.
And we found out the reason for that is because the plaques are here because currently this is the top seed.
Yep.
And if Schalick had won, those plaques, like the Stanley Cup,
yep,
they go on to the other spot.
Yeah, put the gloves on.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something. A great story about him. I'll get to it in a second. 4 minutes to go.
Lord Stanley.
Hell yeah. Have you ever seen it in person?
Yes, I have. They brought it in the green room at the Sports Center. I was up there with Jaws one day, and great bucket right there by Pierce. Nice two-way player here.
She's in double figures. 3:45 to go. Chomo still can't find it. And a rebound from Mahogany Collins. Go ahead, Sports Center, Jaws.
Oh, yeah, well, they just brought it in. They do those This is Sports Center commercials. It
Yep.
was a funny one with Kevin Nagandi from Sports Center as he's
Temple alum.
Yeah, he was eating some cereal, and he was looking at the bowl as he was going to maybe eat cereal out of the Stanley Cup. But they pan out. You see the security guy standing there shaking his head like, no, don't even try it. There was no words in the commercial, but it was hilarious.
A walk called on Furbash, and you can see the frustration on her face. She did everything she could in this game. 21 points.
It's a great athlete in a boxing one situation. This is LeBron against the Warriors with Kevin Durant in the finals. You're doing all you can.
Stockland, Evans, back to Stockland with a fadeaway in the paint. No good, and Lewis was on the line. So my Stanley Cup story, got a call. I don't know if you remember Craig Berube, who used to play for the Flyers and won a Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues. Oh, he's a Philadelphia guy still. Brings the cup with him to a bar in New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
I was invited there, and that was the first time I ever not only saw it, but drank out of the Stanley Cup.
Heard that every player on the winning team goes on a plaque on the cup, and then they rotate like every 5 years or something like that. They put it in the Hall of Fame.
Basically, but
Kind of a
it
cool
gets
story.
better because everybody, as Santiago misses,
There
the
we
follow
go.
is good from Ava Alexander. Every player gets the cup for a day.
Yeah.
And there are some great stories, which I will share with you off of camera.
I know with the Lombardi Trophy, every player gets his opportunity for Tiffany's to make them their own.
Track down Furbash, not giving up. 2:01 to go.
So Tiffany's makes a Lombardi Trophy for each of the players and coaches on their own, but the one from the game, usually the owner of the team keeps.
So that's in the
Puts
that's in Lurie's closet.
Yeah, it usually probably goes in the stadium, the actual one from the game, but they all get their own copy.
So the last time we spoke, I don't think they pulled the trigger on the Wentz trade yet, did they?
Yes, he is at Indianapolis. Coltwood's not official yet to the league year starts, I think, in the next couple of weeks, but they've agreed to a deal to send Carson to Indianapolis. The Eagles will get back a third-round pick and a second, maybe even a first conditionally next year, depending on how much Carson plays.
Missed from Trexler for 3. So when we did that Kings Christian game, though, was it the deal done then or no?
I think the deal was agreed upon,
Okay, fine.
but now they got to wait till the new league year to make it official.
And Stockland pulls it out. 1:20 to go. 14-point lead. Stockland for 3. Short. Furbash looking to run down 14 and 1:10 left. All the way to the hoop.
And one.
Well, it's easy to see how many points that she has.
23. You got one basket.
And one free throw.
And one free throw.
50 seconds left.
Pretty little doubt watching this game who the best player on the court was, but the number 2, 3, and 4 players are all wearing white. I had to start with Pierce. Reese Evans, she's made some plays, and the bigs down low with Lewis.
So Deptford's going to find themselves in the finals of this C bracket, and deservedly so. A tenacious defense, and they own the glass too. Second chance opportunities as well. Not to mention Breezy Stockland and that young lady, Keisha Pierce.
Count 20 offensive rebounds.
Furbath. And that will do it. Final score, the Spartans, 38-26 winners over Schalick. They'll advance to the championship of this C bracket tournament in the Tri-County Conference. And we'll come back with our post-game activities. We'll talk to Coach Liz Faulkner and our player of the game, which we'll announce after this.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trina Lisko, a provider here at Premier Orthopaedic Associates. As a mom, a coach, and a physician, I take concussions very seriously. If you have concerns that your student athlete may have sustained a concussion, it is always better to rest the player from play and monitor their symptoms and be evaluated. Remember, you don't have to have a direct injury to the head to sustain a concussion. Even a hard blow to the body can cause the brain to rattle inside the skull and create this injury. Having been trained, not just in concussions, but in higher level traumatic brain injury, allows us to help you take the guesswork out of this confusing injury. Remember, concussions are an invisible injury and can have prolonged symptoms, especially if not cared for correctly.
So, Chris.
No worries.
Doug.
11 points for Keisha.
Chris, take this.
No, we got it. We're good.
Well, you're going to be on camera?
No, we're not on camera.
You're
We're going to be on camera. No, we're going to be on camera.
All right.
We don't have to do that.
Here we go. Just gonna grab this.
This one is on. Okay, Liz. Yep. And you're going to be on the camera, but you can look at the camera, look at us, it's up to you. And we're going to ask you the questions. How's that? Is that better? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hear us?
Yep.
You hear us? Okay.
Everybody good?
Good news is we're here Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready to go. 11 points, by the way.
Oh, for
But Coffee's got a lot more info for you. Okay. Okay. Final score again, 38-26. Deptford, a 12-point winner. They're going on to the finals That'll be on Friday. Chris Losey, Coffee Jones, our BFA Sports crew here, and we are joined by our player of the game, Keisha Pierce, and Coach Liz Faulkner of the Deptford Spartans. Let's talk to Keisha first because that was your girl today.
Hey, yeah, you were awesome. I called you Lady Kawhi because obviously you're guarding the best player. And Coach talked about pregame. You're going to throw a lot of different defenses at the Schalick team. What was it like just trying to chase a player like Tia Furbash around? And she's making buckets. She's kind of carrying their team.
Honestly, I just knew what type of player she was. I watched film on her. I knew she was quick. I couldn't be up on her, but I had to be up on her because she could shoot. I just knew her as a player and knew where to take her and just went from there.
And then offensively, you go for 11 points. You've been able to get in the gap. You dropped a couple of dimes off. I mean, you guys were really prepared to go against that 2-3 zone. What did you guys see in film during the week that you were really so ready?
Man, we was just ready. We just been ready. Like, this is just our time. This is senior season. We just came out here and put it all on the floor. That's all we wanted was to put it all on the floor, honestly.
Coach challenged you beginning of the game because you had, obviously, that was your responsibility. What did she say to you and how you're going to guard Tia Furbash?
She just told me stay on her, keep my hands up, don't foul her, and keep my feet moving.
Coach Liz Faulkner, great job.
Thank you.
And I do apologize. It wasn't your technical because I did say you were teed up on the broadcast, and thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Seriously, you went to a box and one 3 minutes into the game. That takes a lot of guts. What made you do that?
I mean, like, again, we watched a lot of film. I mean, I've been on NFHS Network watching probably every game that was on there with them, and she's a heck of a player. And I said, we have to respect her on that. I said, even when she comes in, don't even foul her. We gave her a couple and ones, but I said we need to help Keisha too when we get all the screens. But honestly, she didn't need that much help today. She really didn't. She played a heck of a game, kept her head in the game, and that was like the main thing for everybody. And that's what I told the team too. I said if everybody plays their role, starting from the bench cheering us on, her taking on that role. I said Reese coming back after having like a hand injury, like still being the point guard for us. Like everybody played their role today, and that's why the scoreboard looked the way it did at the end of the game.
We haven't seen you this year. I mean, we have a school we see all the time in Alma. Your defense has been so tenacious. Is that something that you have done from the beginning?
Oh, we've been trying. I mean, this game, I will say our rebounding was a heck of a lot better than a lot of games we played. I mean, we're 3-8 this season. We've struggled, and the reason why I think that is we had a lot of games where we didn't box out. Today I said it had to be done, or else it might have been the opposite way. So the boxing out and the rebounding was, like, again, one of the major things that we were doing today.
Great job today. You didn't want to look ahead, but now you're going to look ahead.
Yeah.
You've got Friday. Do you have a report on that other game?
I think we're either playing Triton or
Yeah, they're playing
Pittman.
right now. You didn't get a score yet, though.
No
We
score
didn't
yet.
either.
Yeah, no score yet. But, I mean, either team, we're ready to take them on. I mean, this will be our seniors' last game. So I said before the game, we know when we're ending the season. Usually it's playoffs like, you could be done any game. But we know Friday's our last game, so we're throwing it all out, and we're going to end on a high note.
Well, Coach, I always talk about basketball, 3 things that can hurt you or help you. Turnovers, offensive rebounds, missed free throws. You guys forced 15 turnovers. You had 20 offensive rebounds. You talk about the bigs. You felt you had an advantage on that back line. I mean, just talk about the way that they played when you got Lewis and the girls up front that play big, getting you second chance opportunities.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said before the game, too. I said Keisha's going to get down there, try to dribble, and then kick to those bigs. And I told him, I said, if the bigs have a big game tonight, we will win. I said it doesn't have to be one person scoring 20. It can be 5-5-5, but I knew that down low we had the opportunity to do well. And it was a heck of a game. I mean, Ice has time and time again had so many games where she's come up with that defensive thing. You know what I mean? Everybody's always like, we have the scorers and things like that, but we have the defense for her. And then some games she comes up big with offensive rebounds and just getting in there.
That's awesome, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Good job, ladies.
Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you on Friday.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks
Can't
a
wait.
lot. Coach Liz Faulkner and player of the game, Keisha Pierce, here on BFA Sports. As Deptford's a winner tonight, 38-26. That's fine. And we'll see you next Friday. We tell them, Coach and Keisha, and we'll put a wrap on this one, but not for long because we're going to go to the next game, which is the boys' one, and that's the one, as we talked to Athletic Director Irv McFarland, he said look, the A bracket's the bracket. That's the one that's going to determine the champion, not for the state, but you know how we have with Williamstown football. It's the regional championship, which is fine. I mean, it's great that to have the kids.
To play for. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get
yeah.
black, you get some stuff to play for, and another opportunity to
some
put
bling.
Stuff on film. Yeah, get a little bit of bling.
So, anyway. All right, our final 38-26. Deptford's in the final. We'll tell you during the boys' contest the final of the other game at Pittman. So, for our BFA Sports crew, today's game produced and directed by Doug Stasic. Our field coordinator and statistician is Missy Stasic. Charles Hope on the camera. For everybody with BFA, Chris Losey, Coffee Jones, thanks for joining us this afternoon, and we'll see you shortly for the boys' game coming up next, sponsored by Premier Orthopaedic Associates.